Hey there guys, Proelios here. Welcome to this video. This may be actually a one of a kind video that I make. In this one, I'm going to be doing a VOD review of the map Busan played by the Atlanta Rain and the Dallas Fuel at the Kit Kat rivalry weekend. So, well, the reason I decided to do this video is actually to just test myself out. Because even though I'm a plat player and I do have plat mechanics, I believe that my game sense and my game knowledge is at a higher level than that. I'm not saying I should be like placed at a higher rank or anything. That's up to the DSR and MMR systems to decide. But right now, I just want to gauge how good my game knowledge is, and if some of you lovely folks think that I make sense when I talk about the game. So, uh, I'm not going to pretend like I understand professional level coaching or professional level strategies, but I do have a fair amount of viewership and an idea of how this meta is playing out, and I'd like to share my thoughts on that and see if things play out or players play in the way that I expect them to play. So I'll be talking about win conditions, alt economy, ideal responses to situations, and stuff like that. So you can expect a decent amount of pausing. Um, Also, the audio levels in this, I don't really know how they are. Like, I'm not really a video editor by any means. All of my videos are just like plain pause and play and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Apologies for any low quality content. Um, Also, apologies for the Overwatch League, the broadcast that I've been posting. I know a fair amount of you want to watch simply the broadcasts and not the replays. And there have been some audio glitches at around halftime, I would say, which happen in nearly every single ward right now. Um, but like I keep commenting, right? I don't really have a fix to that because I've tried to solve that issue. It doesn't seem to be with the hardware because my gameplay videos come out fine. It just happens with the league broadcasts, so I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's get to this video. I don't want to take up too much of your time here. Let's get into Busan. Uh, the Rain playing this meta extremely well, whereas the Fuel not playing well at all. Uh, let's see how this plays out. I haven't watched this broadcast. I haven't watched this replay before, so it's going to be my first time seeing what happens in this match as well. So yeah, let's see how things turn out, guys. Apologize for any mistakes I make in my judgments while reviewing the VOD. Let's go. So the bunker meta, that's what it is.
Come on, let's bring it together.
Just turn on the music a bit.
Five, four, three, two, one. Round one. Capture the objective.
Okay, so there are 12 players for me to spectate. Also, I don't know whether I'm going to be spectating every single player or even every single hero. Just go about it at random, or like I'll see whom I think will have a good impact on the fight. That's how I record my replays. And let's start off with kind of the unique hero in this situation, which is Widowmaker. Babyface playing it, obviously. Really good hit scan player. Let's spectate him. And in this meta, the bunker meta, the role of a Widowmaker is quite similar to what it has always been. Just click heads, get picks. There's not really much of a complicated um, setup which a Widowmaker requires. Just go out there. If you're clicking heads and getting picks, you're doing your job. So let's see if Baby Bay goes about this well.
Please move behind the barrier.
Flanking a bit, taking an off flank.
Heal me. The objective is now.
Wow.
Destiny has drawn me to the objective.
So that's the point taken. Well done by Baby Bay and the Rain. Um, so yeah, you just saw Baby Bay taking off angles, creating sort of a crossfire, and it's a good like this is a really open map, so it's a good map geometry for a Widowmaker to take off angles and create a crossfire. So flanks are really good, and right now you see Taimu himself going over to the Widowmaker to try and counter Baby Bay. Generally, when two Widowmakers are in play, they try to take each other out first because at least at this level, these are incredibly skilled hit scan players, so they can get picks really well. And if you keep the other Widow uncontested, they're just gonna run rampant. So yeah, that's why I think Taimu's gone to the Widowmaker himself. And alright, so I think I want to see more of Baby B. Let's see how he reacts to Taimu in this situation. At this point, like the key thing for Rain would just be to, cover all of the angles, cover all of the chokes, Erstuck and wall people off. And for the fuel, they have to just push in, hope that Taimu picks off Baby Bay. That's a really high value target there. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Understood.
No
No
solo.
one can hide from my sight.
Pause, phone call. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Yeah, sorry about that. And I couldn't pause because the software I'm using to record this doesn't allow for pausing, which is kind of odd. It's the inbuilt Xbox game DVR software on Windows 10. Anyway, yeah, let's go on with this. Baby we just popped in for sight, and Note has switched over to the Roadhog. Let's see what happens.
There you are.
Nice. That's such a huge pick. That'll just straight up disengage. You can't really push without a main healer, so
Damn.
You're fully healed. Light them up!
Blizzard prop.
Double kill.
Either way, the Rain won this fight.
Let's see you get past this. Hi.
Okay, so the Atlanta Rain managed to stave off the fuel once again. And what is that look on me? Whoa, okay. Anyway, yeah. So Taimu picked off Baby Bay, but the Atlanta Rain's ult economy was just much better, so they managed to defeat the fuel in that team fight over there. Um, so yeah, good play by them so far. Right now, let's see. I want to spectate Pokpo. Let's see how the Orisa does. Especially because I really like spectating players with ultimates. Like ultimates win team fights if you use them correctly. So that's why I like if you see professionals use ultimates, how and when they use them, especially, and sometimes on whom they use them. It's really going to help you in improving your own gameplay, which is why I personally love spectating players with ultimates. So with the supercharger, naturally it boosts your team's damage. You want your team to kind of stay together, and right now you can see the Fuel's ult economy. They have Zachary's Blizzard, nearly coming up. They have closer sound barrier, which is almost done. Um, so yeah, with the supercharger, you could technically use the sound barrier to counter it. And since Ursa has already used this blizzard, that would be an acceptable move, I would say. So right now, Poco's goal should just be to pop the supercharger upon hard engagement, apply pressure to the enemy front line. In case that Fiula caught out in a bad position, Closer can use a sound barrier to counter that. Maybe they can push forward and take out the supercharger. And if they haven't hard engaged yet, they can just back off, kind of poke and wait for the supercharger to, you know, expire, you can say. Uh, Another interesting thing, you can see Zachary is coming up on Blizzard. If he does manage to get it, I think Dogman would want to save his Transcendence to counter that. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. Right now, let's see. Poke, poke.
Do you want a bandage for that?
Barrier active. Supercharger is ready to be deployed.
Oh yeah, also the reason I don't use third-person views a lot is like I actually like in first person you can get a bit more idea about what the individual player does and how they are reacting to everything that they can see. And naturally, when you're playing in a professional team like that, your team is constantly relaying your information. So that is stuff that you cannot gauge when you're watching just a replay like this. But still, like when you're watching someone's first person perspective, you can at least see how they are reacting to the visual information they are getting. And of course, yeah, like I said, Popo has 5 teammates relaying information to him, but we can still see how he exactly reacts to everything. That's a good fit.
Cease your resistance.
Get in here!
Now this is interesting, right? Because Closer popped his sound barrier before Popo popped his bongos, supercharger curved bongos. And since Zachary's Blizzard was negated by FRD's hook, or simply because FRD killed him, Dogman did not have to pop Transcendence, which is a huge, huge alt economy win for the Rain. And Closer popped out a sound barrier, and yeah, it does make sense for Popo to pop out his supercharger at the same time to apply like kind of equalize the amount of aggression both the teams can take, you can say. So let's see if Rain ends up saving the point or Fuel ends up taking it.
You're not getting away.
Experience tranquility.
Fuel gets the point.
No one can hide from my sight.
Score 1-0.
Rain 1, Fuel 0. Okay.
Ready for battle.
So the Symmetra here, Baby Bay, I don't think he's actually going to play Symmetra here. Sim is used just so that the team can get a head start and get to the point faster. So she uses a teleporter, and Baby Bay will probably go to Reaper just like Taimu. So he can use the teleporter. Once his team advances, he goes Reaper and just teleports to them. So yeah, that's what's going on here. And Mecha Base, interesting map once again. Quite open. You do see some snipers in play, especially Widowmaker. Right now, it seems like these guys want to play bunker again because I mean I don't think teams play anything but bunker for like 90% of the time right now. Um, but yeah, I want to spectate Popo once again. Let's see how he plays Orisa when like there are no ultimates available. Okay, one more thing. Like right now, as Orisa, your goal is literally just to like the role of a main tank is to create space for your team, right? And that's what Popo wants to be doing, and he also wants to pressure OG's shield right there. Because if you win the shield break war, it's a good chance that you'll be able to get a pick off before the enemy team does. And a man advantage, as you know, I think the statistic is that 84 to 86% of the times, if you fight in a 6v5, the team with 6 people wins. So yeah, Popo wants to be applying a lot of pressure to OG's shield and just to create space for his team.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Here we go.
For your safety,
Baby Base
please
playing
move
Sim.
behind the barrier.
He's actually playing Sim. Interesting.
Engaging fortification. The objective. Gale the Mahol.
Ejecting!
I go to these, huh?
On the objective.
Rally towards forward barrier!
So yeah, that happened. Is Baby Bay gonna stay on this? Yeah, Baby Bay seems like he really wants to stay on Sim. So the advantage Sim provides against like moving bunker like that is that she can literally farm barriers, right? If she gets up close to OG's barrier, like if Baby Bay gets close to OG's barrier, he can just use his left click on it, and the damage will ramp up and kind of just melt the barrier really quick. And remember that Symmetra's ammunition is actually restored when she beams barriers rather than consuming it. So it's always a good move to melt barriers as Symmetra. Um, yeah, I think that's what Baby Bay is trying to do, and he found quite a lot of ult in that fight there. So he's gonna use his wall. And Dogman, okay, like you can see Dogman, the Moira, he has coalescence available. And as a Moira in any meta, I think coalescence is a really good pressuring ultimate. You can pop it whenever you get it in the middle of a team fight, and you'll get value out of it. I think that's how it pretty much works. If you're in an even matchup, just pop coalescence. It's a great ultimate, like low value ultimate, which can actually yield pretty good results. What you want to be doing with the coalescence is firstly healing up critical teammates, then you want to be focusing down low health enemies, and if neither one is available, you know, just apply pressure or sustain your team, whichever seems ideal to do. So yeah, let's see how Dogman goes about using coalescence right now. Uh, on this retake, where's the fuel holding? The fuel, yeah, once you take the point, you want to hold at a choke, especially the high ground is really valuable. You hold high ground in Overwatch. Um, so we'll probably see the fuel defending at this spot itself. And yeah, Rain really just want to get up like close to the fuel right now. Try and break their shield, apply pressure with coalescence and go in. And the fuel likely want to wall someone off with Zachary's like the May wall and see if they can get a pick off of that. So yeah, let's spectate Dogman.
Affirmative.
Game on!
Teleporter online. I have opened the file.
You guys see what happened there? That teleporter placement is so clever. They placed the teleporter behind the choke. So even though Fuel hears the voice line of Symmetra popping a teleporter, they don't know where exactly it's been placed. And the other end is way over here, which is beyond the choke. So that way, the Rain can directly bypass the choke without having to worry about getting walled off by May, which is a really clever move. So they completely bypass that, take the high ground themselves, and yeah, let's see what happens next.
Reality bends to my will. Surrender to my will.
You.
Take control of the objective.
I'm on fire. You'd be wise to stay out of my sight.
The ultimate is ready.
I am loving this.
Get into position.
That was really good. That was really good, especially by Dogman there. Like after Baby Bay's teleporter helped them bypass the choke, Dogman straight away just popped coalescence. Erster put up a May wall to prevent the fuel from escaping, and since they were kind of backed into a corner, Dogman could just beam them with the coalescence, just fire in their general direction, and he got 2 kills out of it. So that's really good. Now actually whom I want to spectate is not from the Rain. I want to spectate Closer, the Lucio from the Fuel. And the reason I want to spectate him is there are multiple ways in which he could use his sound barrier right now. Um, he doesn't really want to use it to counter Ursa's blizzard. Um, Generally, if you have a diva, you want your diva to be able to eat that blizzard. That's the value diva brings in such a composition. Um, and I think the ideal way for Closer to use his ultimate right now would be to help Taimu execute a successful Death Blossom. So what happens is, especially at the pro level, uh, teams are almost always aware of your positioning, and because of that, and because of good resource management, Reaper's ultimate is fairly easy to counter. So yeah, since Death Blossom leaves Reaper vulnerable for its entire execution time, you want to provide him with Lucio's extra shielding so that he doesn't go down as easily. Plus, he does have his own like regeneration. He has his life steal, so if he does land a big Death Blossom, he'll be alive anyway. So yeah, let's see what happens. Spectate Closer.
Give yourself to the rip. Let's up the tempo. I'm just getting started.
So like yeah, right now Taimu has Blossom. Note OG. I think Fuel's coming up on 6 ultimates right now. Rain has about 4 for the next fight. Masa will get a sound barrier, I'm sure. So yeah, I don't want to talk about everyone's win condition right now. Right now for Closer, the win condition would be to help Taimu execute a successful Death Blossom.
Boom! Boom!
I've sighted the enemy.
Taking possession.
Heal up.
Team up for special attack. Cease your resistance.
Surrender to my will.
Nerf this!
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Systems checked out.
You feel that? Oh. Now to accelerate. Check this out.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty big misjudgment on Closer's part. He used a sound barrier after Taimu had already gone down. And maybe they misjudged the alt economy or somebody called out that the fight was winnable. I don't know what happened there. But Closer was just a tad bit too late in executing his sound barrier. Probably FRD executing his self-destruct as Diva was what triggered it. Or maybe some like one of his teammates calling it out. Maybe that's what triggered it. I don't really know. But sorry, excuse me. Okay, at this point, as you can see, the rain has just capped the point back during that fight itself. And I want to spectate Erster right now. May, very critical hero in this meta. Um, right now, his ideal scenario would be just to freeze the fuel on approach and not get his Blizzard eaten by Note's Diva. That's an incredibly important thing to watch out for as a May. So ideally what he would want to do is use his Blizzard at an angle where Note cannot eat it or freeze him before he uses his ultimate. So that's his win condition. For the fuel right now, yeah, just landing those ults, landing the Death Blossom, I think that's the win condition for them pretty much. So yeah, Ursa, try and execute a Blizzard, make sure Diva doesn't eat it. That's the win condition.
This is my will.
你好。
Barrier activated.
I've sighted the enemy.
Watch this.
Audio medic.
Reality
Surrender to my will.
Get through this.
Oh, huge!
Behind you. Nerf this.
Bye.
Hi.
That's pretty good. Ursa actually ended up saving his Blizzard. He didn't have to use it in that fight. And Masa, the star in this fight, managed to get 2 limbs. One was a boop. He booped OG off the map. And he got one more kill. I don't recollect who it was. But yeah, huge plays from Masa over there. Stopped Rain from going overboard with the ultimates. I think you saw Masa pop his, sorry, Dogman pop Coalescence there. And Baby Bay popped his Photon barrier. Anyway, right now 69%. I think it's a pretty much one fight territory for the Rain. If they win the next fight, they will most likely win the map. Um, as for the fuel, they have to retake it. They literally have just one fight in order to try and get the round back. Um, so yeah, and right now I actually want to spectate Masa. The reason being the fuel's ult economy is kind of down. The only ultimate they really have is Anko's Coalescence, which means that Masa can be aggressive with his sound barrier usage. So he can use it just to have a hard engage upon the fuel and to force them to either back off or just force his team to slam into them and kind of like a mini coach as they are calling it now. Just get close to the enemy team with sound barrier and get one or two kills. So yeah, that would be the win condition for him. An aggressive sound barrier usage. As for the fuel, they have to try and get value out of Funko's coalescence. Maybe try and build up some ultimates in a long drawn out fight, which they will probably have to take on point at some time. Um, so yeah, Masa, let's go.
Hiya!
I recommend moving behind my barrier. I'm
Routing towards forward barrier! Freeze! Don't look!
Let's get back. Oh, let's
team
break
up
it.
for special
Damn!
attack.
Push off.
Hiya!
Gale the Mahal.
Hiya!
Vamos esculachar!
Surrender to my
Reality
will.
bends to my will.
That's a bit.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Enemy visually confirmed.
Time to accelerate.
Behind the barrier.
Heal up.
Nice, well played. Well played.
Victory.
So in that fight, you did see what I mentioned, right? You saw Masa using his sound barrier in retaliation to nothing really. His team was already at an advantage, and just to kind of confirm that they win the fight and get an additional kill, he used the sound barrier to supplement his team. So yeah, that was good usage of the sound barrier. Some Lucios tend to hold on to the ultimates for too long, expecting that they'll use it in retaliation to something. But when you're in final fight territory, you don't really need to do that. You can be a bit more aggressive with your sound barrier usage. Anyway, I think that should be all for the VOD review right now. God, I've gone on for nearly half an hour. I thought this would be like 15 minutes tops, uh, but I've rambled on a lot. Anyway, do you guys actually in this video I do want to ask for feedback. If you like the video, do like the video. Comment on any feedback you have for me. Um, Once you think about subscribing, I don't know if I'll be making this kind of content again. If you liked it, you wish to subscribe, please do so. I post Overwatch League VOD reviews, sorry, Overwatch League broadcasts, and I post my own gameplay so I can review my own VODs. Uh, Also, I will be linking my blog in the description in case you guys want to have a read. I'm also doing a survey on Roll Queue and Roll Lock to get the community's opinions on it. I want to see if it lives up to people's expectations, which is why I'm doing the survey. Don't have a lot of responses so far, but I'd really appreciate it if you got any more. Uh, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you want. Share this video if you want to get an opinion by an actual VOD reviewer to see if they think I'm completely talking complete nonsense, or if I'm actually decent at understanding win conditions and the ultimate economy and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you for watching. It took up a decent amount of time. I will, I, I'll see you in the next video. Everyone says that. I don't know if I'll see you in the next video. Anyway, yeah, see you. Bye.